Hello there, David Taylor on Mr. Pelargonium back with another video for the Pelargonium and Geranium Society. Today, hopefully quite a short one, I'm just going to update you on the hybridizing that I've been trying to attempt to do this year. So let's just get going. Hello there, well welcome back to the channel. I just thought today I'll do a relatively quick video and just updating you on what sort of bit of hybridizing I've done this year, because you may remember I was actually going to get some seeds from my orchid, which is a sort of, well, scented sort of unique type plant. And my intention was to sort of advance this and actually use orchid as the base of my breeding program. Now, one of the problems was, I will actually put a link to that video that I did about that there. So that's up there. You can click on that if you haven't seen it before. Now, one of the things that I was intending to do was to sort of use this plant because it's a very big, strong growing plant. I particularly like it. It's got a bit of a scent to the leaf, bit of a sort of cedar type scent, which is fairly common in the sort of unique type plants. Now, I think if memory serves, there was quite a number of seed pods, or the little beaks that begin to emerge from the flowers following some initial breeding I did. But it turned out that a number of the beaks that formed actually turned out to be ghost beaks or blind beaks, quite a number of terms for them. And it just basically meant that there were no seeds on the end of the beaks. I did sort of look through and wait for harvesting as many as I could. It should be said that it's been an absolutely chronic year for harvesting seed in the UK, primarily because it's just been so wet. Very damp, wet conditions, seeds do not ripen. I'll just slip in a little video I just did earlier on from outside, and you can see the state of some of the seed heads that form. They just rot off in very damp weather, and of course even in the greenhouse it's not been the best of weather. But obviously it stays dry in a greenhouse, so realistically you can harvest them, but it has taken a bit of time this year. Now, with the majority of these seed heads being blind, I've managed actually to get 4 seeds. And I have sown them in my little sort of seed pod trays that I use. And that's the sort of sum result of my breeding from orchid. And hopefully they germinate. Now, I have had better success using other plants. One of the regals that I did want to breed from was a plant called Doris Shaw. And that sort of neatly runs me into the fact that I did have a slot on the BBC Gardeners World programme last week. I think that was shown on I think it was the 10th of August. I'm filming this today on the 15th of August, the following Tuesday. And I did on that programme actually show me crossing actually Imperial Butte with the Doris Shaw. Realistically, that was the only plant that I had with some pollen on it. So that was realistically one of the only reasons I used that Imperial Butte at the time. But I do actually show some crossing going on using that standard of Doris Shaw. And I sowed these several weeks ago, and these have all begun to shoot through. There they are, they're all shooting through. These were sown on the 1st of August. So they've had this 2 weeks, and they nearly all come up. Nearly all of those seeds have germinated. There's only a couple that haven't. So I'm relatively pleased with those. I've got another video here that I can just put in, harvesting some of the seed there from Doris Shaw. So you can see me it's relatively straightforward to just get the seed out of the little pods that form at the base of the beaks. I mean, there are other videos on my hybridizing playlist which show this. And so there you are. You can see me just getting these seeds out. And what I do, I put these seeds into these little seed pods here. I just grab the camera and you can see what I use. I just use these little seed pods. And you can see these are all the Doris Shaw. In fact, I just overrun slightly, so I've just put a couple of seed in one or two of the pods. These will be relatively easy to split off. So they're almost ready to be potted out, and they're easy to just push the segment out of this little seed tray there when the time comes for them to be potted on. And I've just got an example of another seedling that I've taken there. These are grown on a bit. Right, so initially you just get the seed leaves and then you get the true leaves follow on. And I've got a couple of sets there. These are growing very quickly. So I've got them potted into a small 2-inch pot from the seed tray, from the seed pod here. They're not that big, you can see there, and they easily just slip down into a 2-inch pot. And there they grow on. With Regals, these will need to be sort of overwintered to grow through and produce a flowering plant, you know, in the sort of late spring of next year. Now, Doris Shaw has actually got a very, very similar flower to this one. This is Pac Aristo Purple Stripes. Very good show plant. It is a commercial variety, the PAC, as I've just mentioned. But Doris Shaw is actually very, very similar to that. Right, now, talking of seed, and potentially the next video that I'm going to do as well, here is our test plant. I'll just mention this now. I'll be doing a video with this hopefully in the next week because we need to give it a trim. But there is a reason I am not giving it a trim, is because it's produced a really lovely seed head and it's actually just about to split. So we'll potentially encompass two things on the video for our test plant. We'll get that seed off because I think it's just about to split, and it needs a bit of a cutback. It just needs a shape. It's done very, very well. I mean, it's an almost perfect shape looking at it from the top, but we won't dwell too much on that for now. But I think that's just about all from me today. I don't want to overstep too much because I know the last standards video is immensely long. So a short one today, and I'll see you again very, very soon. Bye-bye for now.